Thanks for joining us for part 2 of the Best of Land special. It's a second night of recapping some of the most memorable stories of the past year from our dear friend, Boyd Huppert. So many of Boyd's stories will leave you smiling and fill your heart full, but others will leave you in awe of the human spirit. And that's what tonight's collection of stories are. You're going to meet people who are a shining light despite so much darkness around them. So we begin with a teacher, helping her students in a way few could imagine. She is teaching from a hospital room, and among the lessons is something we can all learn from.
School in a classroom.
I have 14 now in the waiting rooms.
Teacher in a box.
The car my dad popped on.
And 21 kindergartners are where their online experience is also defined.
Hi, Mrs. Klein.
By what's beyond the screen.
You're at the doctor's house.
Of Kelly Klein.
I am at the doctor's house. You're right.
The doctor's house is 5-year-old speak for Lakes Medical Center, Wyoming, Minnesota.
Hello. Hello.
Where this morning the kindergarten class from Falcon Heights Elementary has accompanied their teacher to chemotherapy.
Woo, woo. Go, Raina. Go, Raina.
They're helping me be strong because it's real easy to go down the why me.
Kelly has every right to go down that road. A 32-year teacher at the same school she attended, a wife and mom who first battled ovarian cancer 5 years ago, then went back to her life until cancer found Kelly again.
Just had a really bad feeling that something might be up.
Something cruelly confirmed on the 5th anniversary of Kelly's last chemo treatment.
Now that it's returned, it's not curable, it's terminal.
So, what to do next?
Uno, dos, tres. Show your board.
She is my inspiration every day.
Beth Benke, school principal, knows most in Kelly's shoes would take a leave.
Take a look at your recording sheet.
But Kelly came to me and said, please don't make me. I said, absolutely not. Let's figure it out together.
Parents were notified their children would see nurses coming and going.
It's amazing to watch it.
Cliff, did you have a different idea?
Opening doors for discussion
I think it might turn yellow a little bit.
between Cliff Fergus and his parents.
She has cancer.
She has cancer. What are they giving her when she's there?
Treatment.
Treatment? What is that? Like some kind of medicine? Yeah.
Congratulations, Lucky Duck.
The chemo won't cure Kelly. The aim to slow her cancer down.
The last time around, I had a posse of friends that went with me to chemo every week. And with COVID, I can't have that. So what better way to spend 4 or 5 hours than with 5-year-olds?
Your new posse.
Yes, exactly.
Kelly's hair and eyebrows are starting to thin,
The gingerbread girl.
a topic she'll soon be addressing with her class.
I want them to see that cancer isn't a death sentence.
Woo, woo, woo.
You can still be happy and playful and silly and funny and energized.
Abe, do you have something to share?
It's a Lego Star Wars toy.
Abe's mom, Sarah Derdowski.
Couldn't have asked for a better teacher. I can't imagine what she would do in person. If she can do this from there.
Ready, scientists? You are looking good.
I give them a lot of cheers. I'm their best cheerleader.
Woohoo!
So that they can know that they can do anything in this world. Maybe they'll invent a cure for cancer. Wouldn't that be wonderful?
And they'll think of you when they do.
I hope so.
Wowie, wow, wow, scientists.
Kelly Klein,
That was so smart.
teaching while she teaches.
All right, I'll see you in...
Mr. Klein.
Boyd Huppert, Carol 11 News, Wyoming.
Bye-bye. Mwah.
Kelly Klein's daughter started a GoFundMe page to help pay for her mom's treatment and for ovarian cancer research. We do have a link to that in the Land of 10,000 Stories section of our website at KARE11.com. Now to a story about an ice rink in a backyard. Minnesotans know those are special places. Skates scraping, laughter echoing. They mean family, time, and community, but they can also mean a whole lot more.
Valentines and roses can say affection. But in Foley, Minnesota, a backyard hockey rink
Get it, Ma!
says love.
I've tied 7 pair of skates today.
The rink where Beth Harrison,
My hands are gonna fall off.
daughter Isla, and son Beckham can be found.
I'm all good.
At a time in their lives,
Center.
they have never felt more lost.
I feel a lot of responsibility for my family.
He's always been the best dad ever. It's always been for his kids.
Beth's husband, Brad, the kind of dad who'd design a luge course for his children, host their outdoor movie nights,
Absolutely.
and talk his reluctant wife into a backyard rink.
I was completely against it. I didn't want the upkeep. I didn't want to deal with it. So I said, fine, but I'm hands off.
Brad, on the other hand, was all in.
This was his accomplishment. It was a way for him to spend tons of time with the kids.
The high school hockey player turned hockey coach to his kids, built both a rink and the life of which he dreamed, till everything came apart.
He was diagnosed January 21st of 2020. Of small cell carcinoma of the prostate.
Beth had wrongly thought she'd prepaid her family's cancer dues after her own battle with stage 3 breast cancer 3 years earlier, a battle her husband couldn't win. Beth and Brad spent all of last summer at a lakeside campsite making memories with their children before sharing with them what fall would bring.
We just held them and tried to answer their questions. But it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Also hard for Beth's husband, who recorded for his wife and kids this video.
I hope that, they can be okay with me being gone. And that, I just worry a lot. It's going to be hard.
Brad's hockey friends asked if there was anything they could do.
You want to do something, you don't know what to do.
The only thing that I couldn't do myself was this rink.
All Beth needed to say
We're a tight-knit group, us hockey families.
for this tight-knit group to show up November 1st, study Brad's hand-drawn blueprints, and assemble his rink. 12 days before he died, barely able to get to his bedroom window, Brad looked out and saw love.
So this time of year was one of Dad's favorites, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, a season later,
And he loved to skate with you guys.
his wife and kids are bringing Brad back to his place.
Can I have a hug? You okay? It was a way to keep Brad with the kids for a little bit longer.
Brad's rink, now lovingly tended by the half of his marriage that once hadn't wanted it.
He would be very proud that I did it. And he would know that I did it for the kids. Just like he would have.
3 months since Brad's death.
No!
Beth, her kids, and an assortment of friends spend every free minute on the ice, confident if they are here,
Tonight was so fun.
It was.
then Brad is here too.
You're part of the family.
He was the best dad. He really was.
Boyd Hubert, Carol 11 News,
Okay, you want to help me?
Foley.
Beth has been sharing her experience with her breast cancer and losing her husband in a beautiful blog. You can find that in the land section of our website as well.
The worst kind of anniversaries
We lost our daughter Hannah in the accident.
and the best kind of mail.
It's 28 years and we've never missed any.
Never missed a one.
Right when we need it.
Remember it. Next.
Welcome back to the best of Boyd Huppert's Land of 10,000 Stories. You know, it's not an easy job for authorities to respond to the hundreds of crashes on our roads every year. But it turns out the head of the Minnesota State Patrol is responding in a way that goes far beyond what his job calls for.
Sure as the sunrise, the envelopes arrive.
In the mailbox.
Never missed a year.
No.
More predictable than the rain.
That card has always arrived by the 9th of December.
Foreseeable as February snow.
Matt, on the anniversary of Andrea's death, please know that we remember your loss.
From the desk of the chief of the Minnesota State Patrol, the note that will soon arrive again in the mailbox of Matt Bovey.
Never missed a one.
Never missed a sympathy card on the anniversary of the crash that took the life of Andrea Bovey, Matt's wife.
I received the first one, first anniversary, and I was blown away by that one. And then here we are, going into year 7.
Andrea was killed by a distracted driver while biking with her children.
Made you cry.
It did.
Erica Bodell and daughter Havana have received a card every November since their car was struck by a drunk driver, nearly killing Havana.
She broke her neck, essentially.
And leaving her injured still.
Going on 6 years now, he hasn't forgotten.
Deanna, as another year passes...
Deanna Carlson's brother Chris died in a motorcycle crash in 2007.
And they just kept coming every single year. It's like he knows when we need it.
Matt Langer knows
Yep.
because Colonel Langer had a good teacher.
The whole idea of sending a card on the anniversary of a death started with a guy named Sergeant Tom Ludford, a retired trooper.
Tom Ludford.
I just keep it with me all the time.
Barb Degnan has carried his name on a card in her wallet for 28 years.
I'll always carry it.
Her connection to the trooper who investigated the crash that killed her son Dan while home from college on Christmas Eve, 1992.
For all the time that Tom was alive, he would call every Christmas Eve to be sure that we're doing okay.
And 11 years ago, when Tom Ludford died.
That's when I decided to pick up where Tom left off and continue that tradition.
We have not forgotten your loss.
A card now instead of a call.
Sincerely, Colonel Matt Langer.
But just as meaningful to Barb and her husband John.
And when you lose a child, that's the thing you don't want to happen. You don't want to have them forgotten.
Which also helps explain why each year, on the anniversary of Trooper Ludford's death, a bouquet of flowers arrives at the State Patrol from Barb Degnan.
And you haven't missed a year either.
How could I do that? No, I'd never miss a year.
It's a relationship that I say I wish we never had, because that would mean that their son was alive. But out of that tragedy, good things have happened.
Please know we haven't forgotten about your loss.
Sharon and Bruce Pearson also know that to be true.
We have received 15, and this year will be the 16th.
Not a year missed since a young Sergeant, Matt Langer, investigated the crash that critically injured the Pearsons' 16-year-old daughter Bethany and killed their 14-year-old daughter Hannah.
I know we had tears that he would send a personal card.
And then they keep coming year after year. Now it's a joyful thing.
To know that we're never forgotten is a good deed, and it's a good man.
Please know that we remember your loss.
One man inspired by another.
Without a doubt, he's smiling about this. I couldn't stop, because to stop, I think, would indicate that we've forgotten, and that's not true.
Sincerely, Matt Langer.
Mailing it in.
Sincerely, Matt Langer.
In the best possible way.
Please know you are in my thoughts and prayers. Sincerely, Matt Langer.
Boyd Hupert, KARE 11 News.
Colonel Langer told us he sends cards every year to more than a dozen families. He knows it's not possible to reach every single one, but says other troopers maintain similar relationships with other families.
A remarkable story hidden in plain sight.
That's all original. We didn't even know I was on the fire department.
All right. Saving history.
This is very emotional.
Next.
Welcome back to the second night of the Land of 10,000 Stories special. There's an effort underway to preserve a piece of Minneapolis history that many may not even know about. It involves a building with a painful past and a story people want saved for future generations.
In one of those buildings we pass by, but don't necessarily see, history is ever so quietly simmering.
It's a big day.
A new day for the old building at 45th and Hiawatha.
This is an amazing opportunity.
And for the African-American firefighters
Long time coming.
following in others' footsteps.
The old staircase, that's all original.
More than a century has passed since the building they are seeing for the first time was built to be Minneapolis's first and ultimately only all-black fire station.
It was opened in 1907.
Joseph Waters is the firefighting historian who's been doing the research on the men who served here.
Oscar Clark, Archie Spence, and James Cannon
Just 3 found in the records so far.
served this station their entire career.
But Joseph says potentially dozens of African Americans worked and lived in this space over the 34 years Station 24 was open.
They broke the ground for us.
Charles Rucker joined the Minneapolis Fire Department 21 years ago,
This is what would be called the engine.
where he's risen to the rank of fire motor operator.
If the system is in place how it was back in the day, I would have been the one in control of the horses. This area is the day area.
On a tour of Charles' fire station,
This is where we eat our lunch, dinner.
reminders of another time
This is my room here.
when white firefighters refused to sleep in the same beds occupied by black firefighters during the shifts before them.
That's why there was a segregated black fire station.
And when that station closed in 1941, things got worse.
Basically, since this station closed, there weren't African Americans on the Minneapolis Fire Department for almost a 30-year period.
Retired Judge LeJune Lang should know.
Yeah.
She worked as a young volunteer paralegal in the early 70s on the federal lawsuit that forced the Minneapolis Fire Department to open its hiring process to minorities.
That hole up there represents where the first fire pole was.
Now she's organized this tour and taken the lead on gaining historical status for the old fire station to protect it from demolition as the neighborhood redevelops around it.
These are the original boot lockers
John Bean,
that the firemen would use.
who currently owns the building he leases to others,
Captain's room.
is supportive of the effort to preserve it, as is
This is the basement.
the Minneapolis African American Professional Firefighters Association,
Yep.
of which Charles Rucker is president.
This is very emotional because they paved the way for us to be on the job and have these nice careers that we're having so we can raise our families and serve the community.
Backers envision a museum where children can visit,
We just seen y'all and we wanted to say, hey.
like these kids from a neighborhood summer program who just happened to walk by during the firefighters' tour.
You can also become a paramedic.
Another rung on the ladder helping the next generation up.
I am actually Assistant Chief of Administration.
Progress
Honor God.
still being built brick by brick
1, 2, 3.
on a strong foundation.
Thank you for coming.
Boyd Hubert, KARE 11 News, Minneapolis.
The Minneapolis Fire Department is currently made up of 403 men and women. 62 of them are black, including the fire chief, Brian Tyner. We'll be right back.
15 years of storytelling, hundreds of videos, all in one place. Land of 10,000 Stories, the complete collection. Rewatch your favorite stories or use the interactive map to find new stories across our state. Go to kare11.com/land.
If you want to watch more of Boyd's Land of 10,000 Stories, the complete collection is available at kare11.com/land. It is worth your time. And Boyd, if you're watching tonight, we all love you, we're praying for you, and we can't wait to see you when you get back. Thanks for joining us. Good night.